Welcome to the Altro Possibilities Studio. This purpose-built space, highlighting design for mental health facilities, can be found here at Letchworth, our head office and floors manufacturing site. We recognise the need for this facility after members of our technical services team were called to a prominent London hospital to undertake some remedial work to a calm-down room. Mental health facilities have specific needs, and it's important that these spaces are designed so they provide a safe environment for both service users and staff.
This means finishes that can't easily be broken and used to cause injury. It means ligature resistant, and it means surfaces that can be easily cleaned and maintained.
In the calm down room that our team visited, the wrong kind of trim had been used for our white rock wall sheet system, and it had the potential to be used as a weapon or a self-harming implement. So following the introduction and the replacement of the correct trim, we realised the opportunity to be able to highlight safe and secure detailing for future specifications. This would support service users who often ask for guidance, and from here the Altro Possibilities Studio was opened, which involved 9 bays of differing types of detail situations. Although showcasing appropriate finishes for mental health facilities was our immediate aim, we soon realised that robust finishes were a requirement for other sectors as well. That would include social housing, among other spaces. So let's take a look around. Most of the bays are fitted out with Altro White Rock hygienic wall systems, which is seamless, impact resistant and wipe clean. In this instance, the flexibility of Altro White Rock is shown in how it can be formed around a corner in one application. We'll talk about the benefits of this when we get to Bay 7. Radius corners can be seen without the need to thermoform the corner. This detail follows the curved substrate of the sheet, as it has to be applied to a sound substrate. In most cases, a minimum radius of 19 inches is recommended, but for a tighter radius it will be necessary to clamp the material during installation. The curved corner is formed by using flexible MDF to make a radius. In this instance, the rest of the wall substrate is plasterboard. Imagery can have calming and therapeutic effects, so here we've used Altro White Rock Custom. Bespoke designs can be created with images printed on the sheet surface and across the jointing strips, enabling a fully integrated system. You can see that the Altro Orchestra flooring is coved over an 1.5-inch cove former with the wall sheet overlapping the flooring, which is taken around the radius and coved throughout. Taking the wall sheet as low as possible makes it more temper resistant. Altro White Rock is again the wall finish here. The internal corners are thermoformed, but the joints between sheets in this case are hot welded. Some service providers prefer this, finding them easier to clean. The most significant detail here is the interface at the bottom of the sheets where they meet the top of the flooring integral cove. A 5/8 of an inch minimum deep cut is made into the wall with a 3/8 of an inch minimum gap allowed, so that the wall sheet can be thermoformed 90 degrees and adhered into this rebate. At the same time, the top edge of the material should be adhered and turned into this rebate. The gap between the two finishes should be filled with a suitable security sealant. This detail negates the potential leverage point at the bottom of the wall and for any self-harming opportunity. This detail also enables the floor finish to be removed easily without disturbing the wall finish should the flooring need to be changed at a later date. A similar detail can also be adopted around window reveals. The flooring used here is Altro Serenade, an acoustic floor which offers 19 dB impact sound reduction. At 3.9mm thick, it provides comfort underfoot and is more comfortable if the service user lays or sits on it. A flexible polyurethane resin, it is mixed and applied by hand on site. It's tough enough to handle impact, and with variable top coats, it enables to adjust the degrees of slip resistance as needed. Some service providers prefer to use resins as they are seamless and extremely durable. You can see that we have incorporated a cove by using a resin cove former. This is applied using coving trowels. The previously mentioned top coats are then dressed over it. In this bay you can see a circular cutout within the Altro White Rock wall sheet, highlighting the fact that we apply adhesive completely across the back of the surface, giving a totally bonded finish. This method allows for a sound installation, but it also improves the hygiene benefits, doing away with any potential infestation. This is why we don't approve any dot and dab fixes, which can leave gaps for water, bacteria and insect ingress. Here is an example of a one-part fixing trim. You can see that it's very hard to remove once the Altro White Rock sheet is locked into it.
Here, Altro White Rock is being used in conjunction with a 1/8 of an inch decorative resin.
The cutout section here shows the resin cove upstand with the wall sheet overlapping by a minimum of 2 inches. The appropriate Altro adhesive is taken down to the bottom of the sheet to ensure maximum adhesion. Using 5/8 of an inch plywood for the coving upstand and 3/4 of an inch for the main wall substrate gives a 1/8 of an inch difference. This allows for the resin to sit flush with the wall prior to the installation of the wall sheet without losing any of the strength or integrity of the cove section. The bottom of the wall sheet has a chamfered edge to take away any sharpness, and then it's sealed with a security sealant. This bay is another combination of Altro white rock wall cladding and resin. Here we can see the finish fitting flush to the floor, whilst on an adjacent section of the wall it can be seen overlapping the coved flooring upstand. 3 corners accommodated in one sheet by thermoforming highlights the hygienic benefits of reducing joints. Here you can see thermoforming into the window reveals. The cutout again shows the advantage of the one-part trim. There is no way that this can be manually removed. As we saw in Bay 1, Altro white rock can be formed around a corner. The significance in this case is that it loses the traditional 90-degree angle as we see here. A gentle curve such as this enables the vulnerable surface users to feel more comfortable and unable to hide away as they might in such a tight angle. This detail can also prevent people from climbing up the walls. The floor finish is a flexible polyurethane resin, and the Altro white rock wall sheet fits flush to the floor with a security sealant applied. A bit of a vibrant retro colour here. Here we see another way of detailing corners. By using plywood formers, we have been able to create 45-degree corners as an alternative to the traditional more severe 90-degree versions. The floor finish here is Altro wood flooring bonded to an 8mm underlay. This allows the surface to be much more energy absorbing. The flooring is finished flush to the wall substrate prior to the wall sheet installation. This detail gives a fully sealed system with the flooring trapped under the wall cladding, allowing for any required washdown. In the shower area, the wall sheet overlaps the flooring, which has been continued 6 inches up the wall. This shows the choice of finishing the wall system either flush to the floor or allowing for an integral cove.
The formulation of our specialist safety flooring for wet environments enables the material to be finished tight this way, without a traditional cove former and without any risk of the material cracking if it's installed correctly.
With older residents where dementia or visual impairment may be a factor, contrast helps them to understand the space. If the coving is taken, say, 6 inches up the wall, it gives the appearance of being further back, so keeping the cove low helps them to understand the boundary. Here, both the one-part trim and the welded joint can be seen. We find that different service providers and specifiers prefer one system over the other, but both really provide a workable option. Here, multiple bends have been thermoformed into one Altro white rock wall sheet to form both internal and external corners. The wall sheet has been thermoformed into a rebate adjacent to the door frame, so no free edge is visible or accessible in the finished room. The floor has been coved here at right angles without the use of a cove former. A butterfly or envelope weld has been used to complete this finish. Only one weld is used away from the corner of the mitre, making the detail very strong with better impact resistance on the outer edge compared to the welds on the external mitre. A cove former does provide a better radius for cleaning, but the butterfly can also incorporate a cove former on the outer edge. Since its inception, the Altro Possibilities Studio has welcomed many service providers, specifiers and contractors who wanted to provide safe and robust installation across a number of spaces. Because we realise there are no definitive specifications for this type of environment, what it has enabled us to do is to open up dialogue with a number of people to discuss their requirements and needs for what are probably the most challenging environments for flooring and wall systems. We trust you've enjoyed the short tour of our Possibilities Studio. If you would like to discuss any challenges you may have or look for technical information, then please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.